Hello and welcome to our course on Photoshop Elements 14, the latest version of Adobe's award-winning image management and processing software. My name is Toby and I'm your instructor on this course. I specialize in desktop computer software, but I'm also a keen amateur photographer and have developed a number of courses in Photoshop, Photoshop Elements and other photo-related software, including some earlier courses on Photoshop Elements for Simon Says IT. From now on, most of the time, I'm going to refer to Photoshop Elements as PSE. Now, before we begin the course, I have quite a few basic things to cover because this is a course for beginners. If you've used PSE before, maybe you're just looking to find out some more about it, or maybe you've used a much older version of PSE and you'd like to get up to date, then some of this earlier material may really not be necessary for you. As I'll explain a little bit later on, the course is divided into sections, and at the beginning of each section I'll try to make it clear what I'm going to cover in that section, so if it is material that you're already familiar with, you may be able to skip a section or two and move forward more quickly on the course. If you are a beginner, then I think it's very important not only that you cover all of the sections, but that you cover them in the sequence that I've set them out, at least to begin with. Now, one thing to point out early on is that from time to time I'll be referring you to the Adobe website. Now, you may be familiar with the Adobe website, you may not be, but it's important to recognize that there is probably a local version for you. Now, you're looking at a page on the UK website at the moment, but very often I'll be referring to the US website, and I'll more or less alternate between those two. If you have a local Adobe website, then it's pretty important that you refer to that. For example, here we've got prices for Photoshop Elements 14 and various bundles and alternative products. Those prices that are local to you and in your local currency will be on your local website. But also the provision of additional third-party facilities, which I'll refer to much later on in the course, is also dependent on your locale. Now, during the course you're going to find out a lot about what you can do with PSE 14, but I just want to briefly cover a couple of aspects here. First of all, there's a very good punchy statement here of what you can do with what's called the Elements family of products. It's powerful, easy to use software that makes it fun to create amazing photos and videos, edit, enhance, share and organize in a snap, and get step-by-step help when you want to try something new. The Elements family includes Premiere Elements, and Premiere Elements is basically video editing software, and I'm not covering Premiere Elements on this course. We're really looking at Photoshop Elements, which means primarily that we're looking at still photography. Now, apart from still photography, you can actually create images by drawing and painting, and I'll come to that later on in the course, but we're basically dealing with stills. The other product that's mentioned there is Photoshop, and you may well have heard of Photoshop. It is arguably the leading photo editing software in the world, really, for professional photographers.